shot in 4K ultra high definition. Your number one source for local news. WRAL News. Coverage you can count on.
We have a level 1 risk for some parts of the viewing area for tomorrow. I'm going to walk you through the potential for thunderstorms, and we'll also talk about a hot day before that.
Durham Public Schools employees are rallying again today over pay issues. Coming up, what's next for a newly proposed budget and how it could cost the county millions.
Jury selection picks back up this morning for the first criminal trial involving a former president. When the judge in this case expects jury selection to be complete.
Caniacs, they're gearing up for their Hurricanes to start a journey into the Stanley Cup playoffs when the puck will drop right here in Raleigh as the Hurricanes prepare to host the Islanders. It is that time again. Get your red on and off we go. 4:30 is the time right now. I'm Jeff Hogan.
And I'm Renee Chu. Great to have you with us on this Friday Eve. And speaking of Friday, tomorrow we do have a severe weather risk. Meteorologist Elizabeth Gardner talks about the changes with our severe weather risk.
Yesterday it was almost the entire state and pretty much our entire viewing area. And the update for today is it's really going to be for our south and western counties. So if you're up near the Virginia line or Goldsboro northward along the I-95 corridor, you may see some scattered thunderstorms tomorrow. But the best chance of having any wind damage is going to be from the Triangle area, southward and westward down through the Sandhills. Here's a look at the big picture. We have a cold front that's swinging through, going to kick out the cloud cover that we saw yesterday. We're going to have a nice quiet day today. It's going to be hot. You know how hot it was earlier in the week. We're going to see that day again today. But let's take a look at Friday, and you can see how we have those scattered showers and thunderstorms that pop up. I mean, it's going to be pretty quick coming through. So it just doesn't look like we're going to see a lot of widespread storms, but still, we do have that level 1 risk. Here's a live look at Sanford this morning. Temperatures are in the mid 60s. We have a southwest wind at around 8 miles per hour. A little bit breezy for today, but not bad. And our dew point at 56, feeling very pleasant for today. Checking temperatures. We'll see at lunchtime temperature of 80 and a high of 87 this afternoon. So it is going to be a hot one. Lots and lots of sunshine today. We'll talk more about the weekend where we still have a chance of some showers and thunderstorms coming up.
Thanks, Elizabeth. Today, Durham Public Schools employees who dealt with pay issues this year will get to see how the newly proposed budget will affect their paycheck. WRAL's Kelsey Coffey joins us live from the Durham Schools Administration Building. Kelsey, these employees will also have a chance to speak at this meeting.
Jeff, they sure will. And the Durham Association of Educators have planned a rally tonight that will happen ahead of tonight's board meeting here at the administration building. Employees are protesting over pay issues again. Just last month, they rallied demanding higher salaries. Employees' recent pushback led to canceled classes for multiple days. Tonight, the board will review a newly proposed budget. Interim Superintendent Caddy Moore is requesting $8 million. It would fund salaries for classified staff. That's people like therapists, teachers' assistants, and transportation workers. Board Chair Bettina Umstead says this request is a big ask. County leaders would have to give the school system $26 million more than what they did last year. So we'll be sure to stay on top of what happens tonight and keep you updated. Kelsey Coffey, WRAL News, live in Durham.
Today, former President Donald Trump will again be in a New York courtroom. The first criminal trial against him resumes this morning. Prosecutors and Trump's attorneys will be working to finish jury selection. They did seat 7 jurors on Tuesday. Today, they will interview 96 more people who could end up on the jury or as alternates. Trump criticized the jury selection process yesterday in a post to Truth Social. He says his attorneys are not being allowed enough strikes to block potential jurors from being seated. Now, under New York law, each side has an unlimited number of strikes for cause. But the judge presiding over the case can decide whether the cause is worthy of a strike. Coming up in 10 minutes, the questions prosecutors say they will ask Trump if he takes the stand.
North Carolina parents who rely on ADHD medications for their children are finding them in short supply. It's leaving them struggling to get prescriptions filled. Most insurance providers only cover the generic forms of the drug Vyvanse and Focalin, but pharmacies are having a difficult time stocking them. That has families who rely on the drug at the mercy of their insurance providers and the drug makers.
We pay $371 for a 30-day supply. So multiply that times 2, and that's what I'm paying every month for our medication.
Here's what pharmacists recommend if you need this medicine. Let your pharmacist know at least a week earlier when you're coming in at the end of your supply. Call your pharmacy before getting a prescription sent there to see if the medication is in stock. And work with your doctor to see if there are alternative medications you can take.
A Clayton man charged with peeping at a Target in Greenville is facing more charges. We showed you the video yesterday of a woman confronting Thomas Elliott for using his cell phone to videotape under a shopper's dress. After Greenville police reviewed Target's security video, they charged Elliott with 2 additional counts of secret peeping. He was booked in the Johnston County Detention Center on a $20,000 bond. Today, you can learn more about how to become a Durham police officer. DPD is hosting a hiring event at police headquarters from 6 to 7 tonight. You can learn more about the hiring process, salary and benefits, and training requirements. If you can't make it in person, you can also register through Durham Police to learn more through a Zoom meeting.
A new report finds North Carolina ranks 29th in enrollment for public pre-kindergarten programs. The report was conducted by the National Institute for Early Education Research. It says pre-K programs are essential for early childhood development. The Institute looked at several aspects of each state's pre-K program, from enrollment and funding to class sizes and other measures of quality. Pre-K enrollment in North Carolina was up during the 2023 school year, but still not back to where it was in 2020 during the pandemic. WRAL education insider Emily Walkenhorst says COVID-19 fears and shutdowns stopped some parents from sending their kids back to preschool programs.
A lot of people just weren't enrolling their children in pre-kindergarten. They were keeping their kids at home. You know, if they had to pay tuition, they were kind of saving their money.
Researchers found enrollment has rebounded since then, but not to pre-pandemic levels. North Carolina ranks 19th when it comes to pre-K spending on a per-child basis, while spending less in 2023 than it did the year prior. At the same time, North Carolina got high marks on pre-K quality. Researchers ranked it among the top 13 states in that category. You can read more about that report on North Carolina's pre-K programs in the education section of WRAL.com.
Get ready, Caniacs. The Stanley Cup playoffs are here again in just 2 days. The puck drops at 5 Saturday afternoon for Game 1 of the Canes' first round series against the New York Islanders. And they will be playing right here in Raleigh at PNC. The series will be a rematch of the first round matchup between the teams last season. The Canes took down the Islanders in 6 games in that series. The full schedule for this year's first round will come out tonight once all the league's regular season games end.
We've learned the VinFast is planning to scale back its plant in Chatham County. The automaker submitted revised plans for its facility in Moncure. The original plans showed the project near 1 million square feet. The new plans cut that back by 20%. The company planned to invest $4 billion into the project, with the state providing roughly $1.4 billion in incentives. Economist Mike Walden says North Carolina will not be on the hook for that money if VinFast doesn't hold up its end of the deal.
Those are contingent upon employment goals being set. So if VinFast, with this cutback, is going to cut back on employment, those incentives will be recalibrated.
VinFast chairwoman says the company is still on track to start operations and hire employees by the end of next year.
Red Lobster is in hot water financially. We'll tell you how one of the chain's all-you-can-eat promotions led to the company considering filing for bankruptcy.
Incredible video out of New Jersey shows a school bus completely engulfed in flames right there. How many students were on the bus when that fire started?
And here's a live look at Goldsboro right now. It is going to be a beautiful day with summer-like temperatures. We do have a risk of storms tomorrow. Meteorologist Elizabeth Gardner will have what you need to know when she joins us after the break.
From the WRAL Severe Weather Center, North Carolina's most experienced team of meteorologists.
It is 4:42. We do have a level 1 risk for severe storms tomorrow from the Triangle area southward and westward. I'm going to walk you through the timeline, but it does look like afternoon thunderstorms. It doesn't look like it's going to be something that lingers a long time through the evening. Here's a look at the big picture. We have a cold front sliding through, and that produced a few light showers overnight last night in a few places, and definitely some cloud cover. We were cloudier certainly yesterday, but we really didn't see a whole lot of rain out of that system. But then, of course, we're going to see this next round coming in for tomorrow. Here's a look at what's happening happening outside right now. We've got a live look at Chapel Hill where all is quiet and skies are clear. Temperatures are pleasant in the 60s, a little warmer than yesterday, 65 in Irwin, 69 in Tarboro and in Goldsboro. And it is going to be a hot afternoon. If you're exercising this afternoon, 87.
New this morning, a fire in Chicago caused a building to collapse and damage several others. It broke out just before 8 last night in a 2-story building. Shortly after, it spread to 2 buildings right nearby, and fire officials say the house that originally caught fire collapsed. The cause of that fire is under investigation. So far, no injuries have been reported.
Prosecutors say they will want to use former President Trump's past legal run-ins against him if he testifies at his New York criminal trial. In a court filing, prosecutors say they will ask Trump about the recent verdict in the civil fraud trial, including what they say was false testimony. They also plan to question him about the defamation case brought by E. Jean Carroll. Other topics listed in the filing are his company's 2022 tax fraud conviction and his lawsuit against Hillary Clinton that was dismissed. The judge plans to hold a hearing to determine what prosecutors are allowed to ask. The hearing can happen as early as tomorrow, but only if they can get all of the remaining jurors seated today.
911 call outages were reported in several cities in at least 4 different states last night. The outages are in parts of Nevada, Nebraska, Texas, and the entire state of South Dakota. At last check, 911 phone services had been restored in the Las Vegas Valley after a 2-hour outage. In Texas, the city of Del Rio said its issue is with the carrier and not with the city systems. South Dakota Department of Public Safety is telling people to use their non-emergency line in order to reach police. No word yet on what caused the outages.
The Department of Justice has agreed to pay over $100 million to the victims of former USA Gymnastics team Dr. Larry Nassar. An internal investigation found FBI agents mishandled sex abuse allegations by women more than a year before Nassar was arrested in 2016. The money will go to more than 100 victims who filed claims back in 2022. Nassar is serving life in prison.
Police in Brazil have arrested a woman for allegedly trying to withdraw money from a bank. No ordinary case of bank fraud here, though. Officers say that woman wheeled her dead uncle into the bank to withdraw a $3,000 loan. A bank worker shot this video of the corpse in the wheelchair being supported by the woman. At one point, she could be seen trying to get a pen into the dead man's hand. When paramedics arrived, they determined the man had been dead for a few hours. The family's lawyer disputes that, saying he arrived at the bank alive. Investigators have not said what charges that woman will face.
This video is incredible. We have to show you a school bus fully engulfed by a fire on a highway in New Jersey. And there were 10 students on this bus as it was heading to the Jersey Shore before it went up in flames. Thankfully, all those students and the driver were able to get out. No one was hurt. Family members came to the scene to pick up their kids. Authorities are trying to figure out what caused the fire.
Dreamville Festival organizers teamed up with a nonprofit to help train people how to use a life-saving tool. The nonprofit This Must Be the Place trained festival goers on how to respond to fentanyl overdoses and passed out Narcan. 1,700 people signed up for the 3-minute training and are now ready to help someone in need.
They know they might be around somebody. They might just be fed up with hearing about fentanyl overdoses, and now they're willing to do something. Or they're just people that truly care.
This kind of training at festivals gives staff the chance to reach a lot of people at once, and afterward, those trained might save a life.
Red Lobster is having financial troubles. The restaurant chain is reportedly looking into filing for bankruptcy protection. There are several reasons for that, including the cost of its leases and labor. But the $11 million Red Lobster recently lost on its endless shrimp deal has not helped. Sources say the chain has not decided whether it's going to file for bankruptcy.
Today, you can pick up some much-needed pet supplies in Chatham County. The Chatham County Animal Resource Center is hosting a drive-through pet food and supply giveaway. It's happening from 4 to 7 this evening in the Sheriff's Office parking lot in Pittsboro. Other giveaways are planned for Saturday in Siler City and next Saturday at Northeast District Park.
The face of women's basketball is nearing a lucrative sponsorship deal with Nike. The Athletic reports Caitlin Clark is nearing a deal with Nike worth at least $10 million. Clark also reportedly received offers from Adidas and Under Armour. The sponsorship deal comes as Clark's WNBA salary has been criticized. Her base salary for her rookie season will be about $76,500. Compare that to the top pick of last year's NBA draft, made about $12 million for his rookie year. I'm sure those endorsement deals will be coming in. It is 4:48. Let's get to meteorologist Elizabeth Gardner as we figure out what's going to happen Friday with the potential for severe weather.
Yeah, we'll start with a mention of Friday because today's going to be nice and quiet. We do have a level 1 risk from the Triangle area southward and westward, so including the Sandhills area. Yesterday, it was really the entire viewing area under that level 1 risk, but that's where we're looking at the best chance of seeing some storms that could produce some wind damage. It would be isolated. Level 1 risk means that we just have a small chance of seeing storms that would produce damage. This is tomorrow morning. We're looking at some sunshine. It's going to be a beautiful, clear day today, so we'll continue to see that tomorrow morning. And then right around lunchtime, we begin to see some showers and thunderstorms rolling through. You can see here, 2 o'clock, this line of some showers, potentially becoming some thunderstorms as it moves eastward along the I-95 corridor. And then it's out of here by 5 o'clock. And this really looks like the end of it. So it looks like it's going to be just an afternoon event for us. We check out 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock into midnight, and it's really over. So that's good news for folks who had plans to be out and about on Friday evening. This is a look at Rocky Mountain Mills right now. Our skies are clear and temperatures are pleasant. 66 degrees in the Triangle with a southwest wind at 8 miles per hour. And we do climb to almost 80 by lunchtime. It's going to be a hot day today. Clear skies, though. That's what we're seeing this morning as you're stepping out the door. So we have the top of the tower lit in blue. And around town today, 87 in Durham and Raleigh and 90 in Fayetteville. That comes close to record highs, but we'll probably miss it by a few degrees. Our records this time of year in the low to mid 90s. Checking out what's happening next across our area. The pollen count is still high. I went out and swept the porch yesterday. Yeah, it's still out there. Oak, sweet gum, poplar. Most of the yellow pine pollen has started to taper off a little bit, but we do still have high pollen for some trees out across the area. Our normal high is 73. We're looking at 87 today. So our very warm temperatures continue. We did drop the high on Saturday because of additional cloud cover that looks like it's going to be with us. And then even cooler on Sunday with cloudy skies and showers. We're going to keep it at 63. So we're going to drop it 20 degrees from Friday to Sunday and keep it cool into the beginning of next week. And here's a look at that. You can see the yellow and orange color contours. That's where temperatures are above normal. And then the blue temperatures are below normal. So that sweeps on through here and really hangs around for at least the early part of next week. How about the weekend planner? We have the potential for an isolated shower on Saturday, mostly cloudy, 75, and then rain late Sunday. So it does look like the bulk of the weekend is going to stay dry. I'm going to walk you through when that rain arrives on Sunday and how it could affect your day. We have some lovely weather in the middle of next week as we climb back into the 70s for Tuesday and Wednesday.
Thanks, Elizabeth. Pretty neat idea here. A college class president in Wisconsin is making up for lost time. We'll tell you how she pulled together a prom for students who missed theirs during the pandemic.
And a puppy is recovering after a harrowing rescue. We'll show you the moments crews pulled her out of a 70-foot well.
A puppy is safe after crews rescued her from a well in California. That dog fell down a 70-foot well in Fresno County. Crews were able to rescue her after several hours. The puppy is believed to be a Husky Shepherd mix. Has a broken leg, but is expected to be okay.
So glad they got the pup out. 2 very different space-related movies are headed to theaters, each for a limited time. David Daniel has that and more in today's Hollywood Minute. We'll move on to the next story here. This one you're going to love, the makeup prom in Wisconsin, a second chance at prom. University of Wisconsin-Madison senior class officers hosted a prom for students that didn't get one in 2020. The majority of college students who graduate this spring were high school seniors when the COVID-19 pandemic hit. Gracie Nelson is the university senior class president. She said they wanted to do something special for the soon-to-be graduates, so they decided to give them their very own prom.
I think you don't even realize how much you've lost until you watch like the freshmen and you're like, oh my gosh, we didn't get any of that.
More than 800 people got tickets to the event.
North Carolina Museum of History has released a list of spring events, and next month the museum will host more than half a dozen free events. Longleaf Festival will return for its 10th year, and the Film Festival showcases independent filmmakers with North Carolina connections. It'll take place Friday, May 10th and Saturday, May 11th.
A successful family-owned wine and beer distributor is moving from their current location in Raleigh. Johnson Brothers Mutual Distributing of North Carolina plans to move to a location in Garner. They're going to get 420,000 square feet of space, adding 100,000 square feet to their current operating space. They say it will help them better serve customers from the Triangle to the coast.
Jury selection in former President Donald Trump's New York hush money case resumes today. We'll explain the steps that will help guide who ends up in the jury box.
The Durham Public School Board will meet again to discuss the district's budget. WRAL's Kelsey Coffey will be live in Durham with some protests planned today on that issue.
Major storms ripped through northern Ohio, and we'll show you the damage this morning where at least 2 tornadoes are suspected to have touched down.